Hi everybody, thank you for rejoining. I think Devesh just had a small connection issue. I think he should be back in a second or so. In the meantime, if any of you have any questions, please put it in the comments of this live and we'll try getting to them by the end of the interview as well. Until then, if either of you have any questions about LynkTown, please put those out as well. We'll try answering you guys. I think Devesh has. Yeah. Hi,
Hi.
Devesh. Yeah, I think we just lost you there
Sorry.
for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some network issue. I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah. All good now?
Yes, all good. Let's start.
Okay, sure. So, hi everybody. We'll just start off right now before we get into questions. So, hello everybody. Welcome to Live with Neighbors. I'm Ananya, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here in conversation with Devesh Pant. Hopefully, through this interview, we can share some valuable insights, not only about the fashion industry, but just generally about art and life as a whole. So a little bit about LynkTown for all of you who are wondering, and for you as well, David, is LynkTown is basically a community where creativity, passion, collaboration, all of them come together, and that's what we consider as the ultimate fashion trends. And that's what we've nurtured LynkTown to become over the past few months and years as well. It's to create a thriving hub where designers or brands can come together to network, to learn, and to grow together as well. So we kind of consider LynkTown as our go-to social commerce platform. So we basically want to empower designers and brands by leveraging the power of social selling, and we want them to connect to a broader audience through the help of social media. So if you're just an aspiring designer or an established brand yourself, I think LynkTown is the place for everybody to be coming forward. So
Absolutely.
speaking of aspiring designers and established brands as well, let's talk about you. So Devesh has been a multifaceted individual who's worked with some of the greatest people in the industry. So he's a fashion producer, he's an art director, celebrity stylist, and a fashion consultant all in one. And his love and passion for art and nature seem to be absolutely boundless. And having worked with multiple brands like Myntra, Femina, and Fab India, your influences and the expertise I think that you bring to the industry stand extremely strong. And your work in your own company, Papa Pants, as well, is like the perfect mirror, I feel, of what you try to bring onto the industry and try to show yourself to the world as well. So now I've heard that you're bringing your amazing charm to gorgeous weddings that are coming up as well. So we're very excited to see you participate in
Yes,
that side of the industry.
I'm also very excited for the same. So looking forward to this
Hmm.
uh, creativity into
Great,
and get
great.
started.
Yeah, sure. So I think just to start out with, like, can you tell us a little bit about the start of your journey and how it was being a stylist in the Bollywood industry, and like what pushed you to kind of go down this path?
Uh, to be honest, this was never a part of the plan. The
Okay.
part of the plan was to, you know, get into something creative. Now, what that
Mm-hmm.
creative, avenue was never. I'd never given, thought to it. I always knew as a child that I want to, be in a space which has something to do with creativity, something where new things are created, and
Mm-hmm.
taking it further, making something larger than life was always the thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, growing up back in the days, you complete your 10 plus 2. It was always like,
Mm-hmm.
either you go into a medical space or you go to an
Oh,
engineering space,
engineering, yeah.
or you go into the commerce part of it. But
Mm-hmm.
the scope of going into an art school or going into a design school was very nascent, something which was
Definitely.
still brewing up. Yes, there were people in the realm of design and art space, but which I, growing up as a student, was very influenced by, be it my faculties in school, who themselves were laureates from Shantiniketan.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Perfect.
quite held a lot of gave me a lot of push that I should work in this space. I mean, it was not like that studies were ever neglected or
Right,
anything,
right. Mm-hmm.
but this was something which made me a little more happy about life, and gave me something to
Definitely.
look forward to. Having said that, I uh, prepared for a lot of these art schools, design schools, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I got through one of the prestigious Fashion and Design Institute of India, which is National Institute of Fashion Technology.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, I got the trade of my choice, which I always wanted to, which was fashion communication. And after that, the 4 years was such a beautiful journey of, you know, uh, getting to know new things, working on new mediums, learning about new ways of art, craft, material sciences, different modes of communication. So it became something which then, finally all those thoughts which were all over the place suddenly came to one space,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to steer them in the right direction. And one thing led to the other, and photography and styling was something which kind of intrigued me while I was in the course.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of beautiful other courses that we were studying at that time, but I really got hooked on to photography and styling bit of it. I didn't know at that point of time what is art direction,
Mm-hmm.
okay, or something for this space I had never heard of. But later on, got familiarized with the whole thing while I was
Right.
in the business of it, and
Mm-hmm.
slowly, I was able to clear out my thoughts that hey, this what path I want to choose and take it
Mm-hmm.
forward. And studying in a fashion institute always gave me that impetus to put
I'm
to
sure.
know more about what are the ongoing trends, what are the ongoing styles, what are the
Mm-hmm.
different kinds of fashion, what are the different art genres, what are the different fashion timelines, and I was really happy, so, knowing all about this and
Definitely.
putting it as a part of my career. So that's how the journey began.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that's really awesome how like a lot of people have told like they were always doing something else like engineering or they were studying for medicine and then they realized that fashion was their calling or something. And I think it's really cool how you always knew that you wanted to be in a creative space and then you channeled that you wanted to get more into the fashion industry. And I think that's very interesting. And I think it's very important for people to look into stories like yours or even just look at have people like you around to see that not everybody goes through the exact same path, even the creative specter of things. It can keep changing and you do keep growing and learning every day. So I think that's really nice.
Yes, that's there. So that was the start of my journey, and and
Mm.
then got into the spaces where I worked with magazines like Femina,
Yep.
and then I started working with Mintra, and
Mm.
the journey was, each avenue had something or the other for me to learn from, and they had a different ways
Definitely.
of offering those avenues. While we while I was working with Femina, and off and on after leaving Femina also, I kept on working with them. I learned the different side of fashion and styling, how it is,
Mm.
what it takes to, get those looks, how one has to work
Definitely.
around things, because like they say, the God is in the detail, So you have to work
Definitely. Yeah.
around the methods of achieving a certain look. So you cannot prepare. different dishes with the same recipe. The recipe for every dish is different. So that was
Definitely.
the
Yeah.
thought here as well. And so Femina gave me a different ways of working in the realm of fashion, and Mintra gave me a different realm of working in a commercial space of fashion, I would say. So both had a lot to
Definitely.
teach
Definitely.
me, and I could dabble around with different kind of styles, create my own unique styles. That was something which. Uh, something which was and I mean every step or every process or every new project had some or the other challenge every time, like till today, if I may say,
Definitely.
or
Yeah.
maybe the upcoming project. Every project comes with a new challenge, and it gives me being a designer, our thought process is always how we be the problem solvers, how
Definitely. Yeah.
we solve this coming issue which is pressing at the moment. And every new project we work around different routes, different ways to achieve a certain thought that we have put into it. So that is there. So that's how it has been, and slowly things have changed from just from styling to art directing it to now producing the shoots as well. So it's a beautiful journey, and inshallah it
Lovely.
takes forward more. Yeah.
Definitely. We all hope to see you a lot more. And kind of talking more into your job, like what does your role as a fashion producer actually entail? And I think somebody in the comments as well has just asked, what is your whole design project process and how do you go about working on a project? So if you could just run us through your thought process when it comes to those things.
So, see, as a fashion producer, I have to first of all understand the brand, where they are coming from. Is it a designer brand? Is it a commercial brand? Is it a prep brand? Is it a newbie brand? These days, the brands have also increased their portfolios in such spaces that first, before you grab onto that opportunity and take it forward, you need to do your homework and understand what is the brand
Definitely.
all about, right? So first I do my research with, of course, my entire team, that what is this whole project all about. And once we get the brief of it, we understand the technicalities of it, and
Right.
along with my very creative set of folks with me, we put together like a mood board of how we can present this particular project, and do a lot of there is a lot of R&D. There's a lot of R&D which
Definitely,
goes
I'm sure.
behind because the fight today is how fresh can we be, what will be the fresh take on the same set of product which 10 other brands are also making, and how are we new compared to them, right? So we work
Definitely.
around all of that, and then I mean there are a lot of nitty-gritties in between. I mean we need a whole set of separate conversation for it, but in a nutshell, if I have to put it together for you, it will be more in a space where we understand the brief, we take the brief
Definitely.
from the client, work around the mood boards of it, set up a team of really creative individuals that have the ability to execute and give us the same what has been asked for. And yeah, I mean the to be honest, the most hardworking part of is the pre and the post production. The execution day is just one single day. So whatever you've executed in that one single day
Yeah.
is the final
That's
thing.
it.
I mean
Yeah.
that's the dish that has been prepared. Now how you garnish it for the next is up to you. So that's the whole take, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you put that across extremely well. So, speaking of, like, you were talking about how you work together collaboratively as a team and it's a whole process to it. A specific part of the process that we were curious about is how you exactly source your looks, like through your clothing or accessories or like any unique items you're putting across to create these huge impactful looks. Do you have a specific look you always go for? Like, you have a specific thought process that always works for you, or is it like a very opening flow kind of process?
See, now when you talk about this, this is a very good question, and it's a very important question for the budding stylists in the industry as
Definitely.
well. So when we talk about sourcing, sourcing is a very, very important part of to make or break a look.
Definitely.
First of all, it involves how brand aware you are. How
Hmm.
aware are you of the designer labels around you? How woke are you about the fast fashion brands around you? And above all, how handy are you? How good are
Mm.
you in terms of picking the right product, right piece, right silhouette, right trend,
Definitely.
in order to, make it or break that particular look, right? So one has to be very much aware of these things. Like when we, as
Mm.
newbie stylists, were growing up, and when I talk about me, I talk about all my peers in
Definitely. Yeah.
who are doing so good right now in the
Hmm.
industry. We all had to be very, very much aware of the brands around us who are creating the new collections for the
Hmm.
season, what are the upcoming trends for the thing. I mean, these are some things which we have to still brush up. Because fashion is a cycle which changes in every six
Hmm.
months. So we have
Definitely.
to be very much aware of the fact that what is the upcoming trend, ongoing trend, or the past trend in order to, fulfill that particular look. Because, sometimes you have shoots that come in with what do you call it? Current trend scenario, let's say, for example,
Hmm.
and they will require you to, focus on things which are maybe promptly of this trend or the upcoming trend. But then there are sometimes shoots which involve something where you have to create a mood of
Hmm.
1920, you have to create 1950s, and living in 2023 to create something of that era
Oh,
is quite
definitely
challenging,
difficult.
right?
Yeah.
So one has to be very much aware of the what kind of fabrics, what kind of trims, what kind of
Hmm.
silhouettes were in
Definitely.
and
Yeah.
that particular time or this particular time, depending upon what the project brief is, or the situation is. So sourcing, coming back to the question, sourcing is a
Hmm.
very important part, and how I go about it is, like I said, keeping the um, uh, this whole space of keeping things in mind, what is new at the moment. So my sometimes my favorite pastime is like
Hmm.
one of the days that I'm free or whatever, I just like go around and I just stroll around in the market, going to the
Wow.
stores, looking at the trends, what are the kind of
So this is
silhouettes
your
happening.
creative
Because
process,
yeah, that's one
essentially. Yeah.
of my creative processes where I
Hmm.
like to understand what the market has to offer,
Hmm.
right? So that in tomorrow's date, if somebody asks me that, hey, Devesh, we have to create, a completely sartorial style of a
Hmm.
shoot with so and so kind of theme to it. I should know that what is my market offering me, so that I can bring
Right.
those things on board, or maybe I can touch base with those designers and you know
Hmm.
uh, uh, work it out in a space that fulfills the ask. So
Definitely.
research, yes, definitely research is very important. To one, as a stylist, you cannot go
Hmm.
blindfolded into a set and just be like, I have arrived and start the work. It needs a lot of homework that has to be done in order to be executing it, because at the end of the day, what you are creating, either it will become a trend or it will go into a trash can. So
Right.
that's
Lot of
very
pressure.
important.
Definitely, yeah. I think for a lot of, especially if you take a look at these lot of small businesses that are trying to come out and do something absolutely different in the market, it might be really difficult for them also to break through and reach that larger audience with the art that they want to put out. Because a lot of times,
Absolutely.
necessarily, they might not have a specific client that has a specific ask, but they might have this entire creative process and ideation that they want to show out to the world that could potentially become something that clients would want. So how do you see like small businesses or new fashion designers kind of leveraging a platform like in terms of photo shoots or getting a model shoot done or just for online catalogs? What do you think small businesses can do to actually get out there when they don't have the adequate resources or finances to actually call like huge stars and celebrities to put their clothes?
Yeah, again. So this back in the days, I mean, for doing a photo shoot or doing a TV ad or a campaign was something which was quite costly
Yeah,
as a project on its own.
definitely.
A cut to if we see right now, I mean, let's just take a couple of years back, 2015, let's say. I
Sure.
mean, technology was there, but it was not at your doorstep that much, right?
Definitely, yeah.
WhatsApp had recently emerged,
Hmm.
right? People had
Right.
started using WhatsApp, and Instagram and WhatsApp are two things which came in like few months, back to each other.
Yeah.
And that was Instagram came in as just an again like an avenue which was like an extension of Facebook at that point of
Hmm.
time. And today, what we see Instagram, people are running businesses out of it,
Yeah.
right? So back in the days, things were very difficult when we talk about putting things together. But now
Definitely.
everything is a click away. It's quite
Hmm.
handsy, especially if you are a new brand, if you are a startup brand. I mean, there is a technological support that that
For sure.
already
For sure.
that is already at your hand. You don't
Hmm.
need to do much about it in order to run your business. But back in the days, that was not the case. You had to really, struggle through it and put things together. There was a lot of monetary value
Hmm.
intact with it. But right now, as we go forward, things have become quite easy for upcoming designers, Gen X designers, to put their work together. For that matter, the already
Hmm.
established designers are also working in the same space and trying to make the most out of it, the usage out of it, of these technological advancements. So,
Hmm.
and to be honest, the talent over the course of time, be it photographers, be it stylists, hair and makeup artists, art directors, producers, videographers, especially videographers in today's time. I mean, Reel is the maximum viewed content
Yeah.
on an Instagram profile. Static imagery
Yeah.
has been taken over
Completely
by
obsolete.
the motion picture here.
Hmm.
So that is so I'm saying that these talents have also grown up and have
Definitely.
refined
Definitely.
themselves over the course of time. And they are doing such beautiful, amazing work out there. So, I mean, there is plenty of fish in the water.
Hmm.
I mean, it's up to the person how you tap that certain set
Hmm.
of people in order to execute what you have in mind. What's your
Definitely.
vision?
Definitely.
What's your mission? So yeah, that's how I would suggest it. Things are going forward. And as you said, for the new upcoming labels, how it works. I mean, there are really good set of studios these days available,
Hmm.
which are so well equipped with everything, all the facilities, and they are ready to execute things for you however you want. So I think so things have become a little easy on the designers front for them
Hmm.
to showcase what they have
Definitely.
thought of
Definitely.
while they have created their collection, as well as I mean the whole technical team is there to
Hmm.
produce it for them. So that's how I see it. And going ahead, it's quite a smooth journey. And
Hmm.
to be honest, like after the AI has taken over,
Yeah.
things
Hmm.
have grown leaps and folds of what you can imagine. It's right
Yeah.
there as a picture in front of you. So AI is the kind of future.
Hmm.
But something which is man-made cannot be replaced by
Yeah.
AI. That also I agree. So, I mean, if we work it out in balance, like if there is a proper yin-yang for this space, of course, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I think you put that across really well. And as you mentioned, I think even if we went even less than a decade back and we were like kind of thinking about how we can connect to literally the other side of the world right now through technology, and how artists and designers can leverage this right now. That is something we at LynkTown are primarily so passionate about. So I think it's really great that a lot of designers also are acknowledging the power of
Absolutely.
how technology is going up and innovating now. Awesome. Yeah.
I
So,
mean, and I mean, this is something I'll just add on. This is something which I have also, realized over after the pandemic. After the pandemic, things have changed like 360. Things
right.
which were done manually over this 2 years of pandemic, technology like has throttled itself at the fastest gear and brought us to some other space altogether. And
Definitely.
because of yeah, and because of the pandemic, a lot of changes have happened. Trends have taken over. AI being one of the biggest trends.
Definitely. Definitely.
Virtual reality becoming the second biggest trend. And I mean, online marketing was at, like, let's say around 45-50% doing,
Mm-hmm.
but post pandemic it's 95% online marketing
Definitely.
happening,
Yep.
online shopping happening. I mean, retail has just soon gonna be replaced, for that matter, I would say.
Okay. Okay. So you kind of are under the whole, you're completely fine with adapting as a designer to the changing aspect of how technology might eventually be what all of us are working around, even if it's not a really in-person experience with fashion anymore. And I think that's really cool. Yeah,
Thank you.
nice. So kind of now we're going into a kind of lighter section of the interview, which is kind of like a rapid fire questionnaire.
Oh,
So we'll kind of give
super.
you short
Am I getting a
questions
hamper
and you can move
after
on.
this?
Unfortunately, Karan Johar is not with us here today.
Oh, damn.
Otherwise, I'm sure we could have provided.
Absolutely. Like,
Yeah,
let's go for it.
sure. These are little fun questions. Not all of them are related to fashion, just a little to get to know you as well. So,
Okay.
do you prefer nature or cityscapes for photography?
I've always been a nature boy, so nature. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Like, I have grown up in the mountains. I have lived my half my life in the
Mhm.
mountains, so nature.
Awesome. So, describe your fashion philosophy in one word.
My fashion philosophy in one word, comfortable yet outstanding.
Okay. What is a recent trend that you've totally been into and you've totally vibed with in fashion?
Oh yeah, so I have been off lately binging a lot on the Korean fashion, I would say.
Oh,
Uh, so that's something I am very intrigued about the whole your loose fit
street styles coming
trousers,
back.
yeah, and your baseball shirts coming into place. So that's something
Mhm.
which I have been really intrigued with, and those Dr. Martin boots
I
taking over
completely
along with that
agree.
Korean
Yeah.
fashion. So that's something which I'm
Yeah,
I'm really binging on right now. And I really like that style of fashion. It's quite comfy, it's quite stylish, it's quite outstanding.
definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, that's something which I really like.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things at the moment as well.
Yes.
So that's awesome. Yeah. So, are you a morning person or are you more of a night owl in terms of work or just in general?
I used to be a night owl before, and pre-pandemic, I was just a night owl. So, but now I have kind of worked on my lifestyle a bit and try to be a little morning person. So yeah, but then
Congratulations
again,
on fixing
it
the sleep
depends. Thank
schedule.
you. Yeah, but then I have off lately realized that sleep is very important. For
Mm.
before that, it was just like, yeah, just like it's sleep only. But now I have realized that it can have detrimental effect on your health.
Oh,
So
definitely,
yes,
definitely. Awesome. What is one fashion accessory you can't live without?
one fashion accessory I can't live without. Mm, I don't know if a fashion, you would call it a fashion accessory or
Hmm.
something, but I have this undying love for denim. Okay, and denim being a classic, I always like have this my favorite denim jacket. That
Hmm.
I always That's blue denim indigo jacket, which I have for the longest time, and for that matter, how much used and abused I have
Hmm.
to this particular piece of clothing, but I still feel very comfortable and very, snug in it, and it's still very stylish. So
Yeah,
denim is
definitely.
my piece of clothing. I mean, there's no accessory. And when you talk about accessories, maybe I have like these pair of boots that I really like to wear. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So, more of a fun impromptu question. So, how would you style a photo shoot happening in a rainstorm just right now, if you
How
had
would
to just picture
I
something?
style a photo shoot?
Photo shoot that's happening in a really rainy situation, like a rainstorm, a like
Oh, tell
storm
me
shoot.
about it. I've done a n number of shoots in rains.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Oh, it's quite a funny thing that you've asked me. But of lately, since the monsoon season is in full
Yeah.
swing, I have been doing most of my shoots, outdoor shoots in rain only, and it's been quite a journey. I mean. We just go for, see, the thing is that if it's like full torrential rainfall happening, we have to any which ways
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
stop till the rain kind of goes away, or
Hmm.
the speed of it decreases or something, and stuff like that. But once we know that the sky is about to clear, we just roll out. I mean, I don't see any scope that we have to wait for a certain thing. I mean,
Definitely.
if we can achieve something in that specific small window also, I just go for it. So
Awesome.
I like to be a go-getter, to be honest.
Mm.
So I just go for it, do it, done. I mean, if we have achieved it, good. If we have not achieved it, let's move on. Let's do something new. So rather than wasting time and just waiting for it. So yeah.
Great. Awesome. Now, a little bit of a juicy question. So, in a hypothetical scenario, if you had to style your ex for an occasion, how would you style them?
I had to style who?
Your ex.
How would I style them for an occasion? I
Any
mean, depends
occasion.
on the it depends on the occasion. I mean, I have styled my ex for n number of events, and she was very happy with it or whatever
What was your
came
favorite
by.
look then?
See, to be honest, if you prepare a dish and you
Mm-hmm.
have to serve it to people, the others will, the proof of the pudding is
Right.
in eating it,
Huh.
right?
Huh.
So
Yeah.
the other person can tell you that if it is nice or not. You cannot, for you it is right because you have
Huh.
produced it, you have
Fair.
styled it, you've done it. So for you it is, done. But it's up to others how they judge it. Then you get the
Mm-hmm.
correct feedback on if it was good or it was bad or it was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
That's there. So coming back to the thing, whenever I've styled her, she was always happy that she's getting best stuff to get styled with.
Definitely.
However, I used to really enjoy the fact when she used to herself style herself, and like
Mm-hmm.
whenever we are going out, especially for the Easter parties or
Mm.
for the Christmas parties, or New Year celebrations. So because there used to be a dress code that we had to follow,
Right,
and that
right.
time, I mean, she used to give in her 100%. So I used to really enjoy it. So
Awesome.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's
Great,
the.
great. So, who do you think is your ultimate fashion icon, past, present, whoever?
Mm, I really don't have a fashion icon, but I admire people for
Mm.
their personalities. Okay, to be honest, if you talk about somebody like Elvis Presley, okay,
Mm.
he I find him very stylish. Not on stage. I'm not talking about his on-stage presence because that
Mm-hmm.
on-stage presence was given for him to look like that. But off-screen, off stage, if you talk about his life or talk about him as a person, he was very easy breezy.
Mm.
Very stylish by himself, very comfortable in him being in his own skin. So I like that sort of style. Something. I mean, if you talk about Elvis Presley in his off-stage persona, that is that is my past style icon. Is
Mm.
what I really like. Present to be honest, like every day a new trend is coming up. So
True.
you really can't say
Mm-hmm.
who's doing good, who's doing bad. Everybody is so stylish, so hip these days, and I'm especially intrigued by the Gen Z fashion that has come up. The kind of cuts and silhouettes that are coming in, which have this little hint of 90s, but
Right.
but it is so modern. It is so I say futuristic in terms of their wearability quotient, silhouette quotient, design quotient. So I really what do you call it? Not the fashion icons, but I really like what the Gen Z generation is doing right now.
Awesome.
So more power to these guys and to create some young, brilliant fashion. So that is there. And one trend which I really enjoy, have been enjoying for past couple of years is athleisure. With an inclusion of a little bit of a normcore style
Definitely.
of fashion. So athleisure is my go-to thing because I'm somebody who's always on the go, who's always on the move, and I like to wear clothing which is fuss-free. Like I
Comfortable.
said,
Yep.
yeah, comfortable, fuss-free, easy to work with, quite ergonomic. That is my way of, approaching clothing. I'm not saying don't look stylish, but athleisure clothes also look very
Yeah.
much stylish. It's up to
Definitely.
you how
Nowadays,
you carry it forward. It's up to a person's personality how they take it forward. I mean, you can make the same piece of clothing look very clownish. You can make the same piece of clothing very camp. You can make the same piece of clothing very masculine. So it depends how you take it forward. So yes, this is what I would say: Elvis Presley from the past and Gen Z from the present.
Great, great. That's so cool. So now we're coming to the kind of final segment of our interview, which we like to call Slay and Nay. We'll
Okay,
give you two options, and you have to pick one out of them, basically.
okay, let's do
Pretty
this.
straightforward. So, collaborations or solo projects?
Collaborations or solo
Projects.
projects? Both, both.
Can't pick.
That's a tough one. I'm sorry, but I love both.
Okay, this one will let you slide, but you have to pick the other ones.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Art galleries or the runway?
Art galleries or the Broadway?
Runway, runway.
Runway. Art gallery.
Okay. Spontaneous trips or a fully planned itinerary?
Hmm. Now, both of them have their own charm. Which one should I go for? Spontaneous.
Okay. Monochrome palettes or like a colorful explosion?
Monochrome. In my personal space also, I like very tone on tone, very monochrome. Like, I mean, 2 days back only I was wearing head to toe brown. So
Love that.
yeah, like if you talk about my sense of clothing, it used to be a color blast back in the days, but now over the course of time, it has changed in such a space that it has become very monotone. Monotone, when I say it's, again, I will not say it's very dull, but it's how you style it up. So yeah, monotone is
Awesome.
my way.
Great, great. So, would you rather foresee the future or change the past?
That's a very direct Sabya question you asked me. Would I change the past or foresee the future? Um,
Yeah.
Foresee the future? Yeah, definitely. Because past is past. Can't do much about it.
Might as well see what's coming ahead of us. Okay, cool. Would you rather have a nice night of take out and chill or go out, wine and dine?
The former one, chilled out, laid back, at home, be comfortable, be with your near and dear ones.
Now, in terms of like a very specific accessories, when it comes to watches, do you tend to turn more towards leather straps or are you more into metallic straps?
Metallic. All my watches are metallic.
So you have a specific that most of that's nice. That's well, actually I'm
I'm
not
I
very
for some reason I used to have leather strap watches, if I may say, but the it's up from a person to person. I don't know how you perceive it versus how I would perceive it. You might find a leather strap a watch being very comfortable and hands-on and very fixed to your wrist. Whereas for me, I like to wear a little chunky watch or something not blingy when I say. It has to be metallic. So I have a sense of the fact that yes, I'm wearing a watch for like I
Mm-hmm.
need to have that in my system and be conscious of the fact what I am wearing.
Definitely.
That I take care that I take note of every
Mm.
time. So yes, metallic watches it is.
So rather random question, dal chawal or biryani?
Ooh. Mm, dal chawal, but sometimes biryani.
Now
You also agree
finally,
in that, I'm sure.
I'm vegetarian, so I eat mostly just dal chawal.
Oh, so veg biryani for you.
Yeah, sometimes true.
Okay, great.
So finally, so what do you think is your dream project? What is your ideal collaboration, Devesh?
Uh, I would say a dream project, and not a collaboration here. So
Okay.
this has been something in my thought process. I mean, this kind of came up during the pandemic. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of gave everybody this time of self-intervention or
Mm-hmm.
and to take a step back, relax, understand what's going on in life. So my takeaway from this was that I come from the state of Uttarakhand. Okay, I come from a small hill station called Nainital, and I am a Pahari. I'm a Kumaoni Pahari, and while this pandemic had struck over, it gave me a lot of time to think over the fact that me as a fellow Pahari citizen of the state, what am I doing for my state?
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things that kind of caught my attention. And I, coming from a community of Kumaon, which is a region in Uttarakhand,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of, and it's also like a dialect spoken, and it's a set of community of
Mm-hmm.
people as well. I see that as we are growing further, as we are moving ahead, that community is depleting in the sense that the sense of ethos, the sense of culture, all the traditional
Mm-hmm.
values of that entire community is just withering away. I mean, let's say you are from, let's say, the state of Karnataka, you are from Bangalore, you are a Kannadiga, but born and brought up here, but then you don't know how to talk
Mm-hmm.
in Kannada. I mean, that's something in my space. If you put it together, you are a Pahadi, but then you don't know how to communicate in
Right.
Pahadi. That
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest, as we are growing further, the whole state is also of Uttarakhand is also growing in a space that a lot of people are moving away from Uttarakhand in
Mm-hmm.
terms of jobs, in terms of their livelihood and everything, and it's kind of a brain drain happening in that whole state. I want to create, which I am actually working on right now, kind of a label that I'm working on
Mm-hmm.
right now, which kind of instills those values, those traditions and cultural values
That's
of
wonderful.
the land, put together. At the same time, work on an employment aspect for the people, for rather than getting out of the state, be in the state,
Mm-hmm.
kind of reinstill the cultural values, the craft of the state, and present it to the present communities, present generations in a very modern take, in a very fashionable take. I want to work in that space. So that is my dream project right now that I am, you know, at very nascent space, and I'm working on it. And I would like to take it further, and make my state proud of it. So that is something which I am currently working on. So that is my
That
dream
is
project.
that is lovely to hear. I've been to Uttarakhand. It's a gorgeous place to visit as well. So I can't imagine how lovely it is, must be living there.
Yes, so that's what I'm working because there is for my state there is a lot to offer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it's with every passing generation, the craft is just getting dying. The craft is just dying off. I want to restore it,
Definitely.
revalue it, present it in a better way. I mean, old wine in a new
New
cask
bottle.
sort of a
Mm-hmm.
space. So that's the whole idea.
Great. That that's beautiful to hear. Devesh, and it's been really nice talking to you and getting to know you through not just your
It's my
passions
pleasure.
but your ideas as well. Like you're a very
It's
nice
my
person to
pleasure.
talk. So thank you
Thank you
so
so
much for coming
much.
on with LynkTown.
This was
Hopefully
such
we'll have
a
something similar
I
soon.
mean, I had a really good time talking to you guys and understanding, about your spaces well, where you guys come from, and thank you so much for bringing me on board for this entire, talk session and fun-filled talk session, and
Thank you.
adding some value maybe here.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll be talking soon. Maybe we can do this sometime again. So
Absolutely,
I'll see
looking
you then.
forward to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You
Okay.
have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too,
Bye bye.
Devesh. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Thank you, everybody,
Bye.
for joining.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody. Thank you so much. Bye.